As a RWBY fan, I for one definitely feel fed after this RTX. RTX is still going on, but I'm pretty sure that after today there's not going to be any more RWBY news. And honestly, I've been satisfied. Of course, I could always use more news, but what they gave us was a lot. And that includes the Arrowfell game that is coming out next year. Between this panel and the last RWBY panel, there is definitely a lot of information that has interested me. There is still, of course, a lot more that I want to see, and they do plan on giving us more as the year goes on. Like, hopefully we get more of gameplay that'll be shown, maybe more on the story. That'll be nice. But as far as what we got so far, I'm really excited to talk about it. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys end up enjoying this video, then you can like the video, comment, subscribe. All those things really help me out. And subscribe and let you guys know when I upload next. There's plenty to talk about here and in the future. So if you guys want to know my thoughts, just subscribe. All right, not gonna waste any more time. Let's get into the video. So like I said, there is a lot of information that we got in this panel, both about the actual game and what was going on in the background. I definitely plan on talking about all of it, starting with the style of the game. I failed to mention this last time because when I heard open world, I did not hear that this was going to be a Metroidvania kind of game. And I also didn't know what Metroidvania was, but apparently the way that the game works, for anybody that doesn't know, it's a platforming game that takes place in a single large interconnected map. So think of the game as one giant map that you're going to be running around, going back and forth, finding secret rooms, and basically just unlocking everything in that giant map. And that giant map, I'm guessing the goal is to 100% it, like go to every room, do everything that's available, and basically just unlock. So I think that's really cool. I'm really excited, especially since we've seen already snippets of where we're going to be. There's Atlas, Mantle, the Tundra, the caves, all those things. So I'm really excited to explore that giant map and to just unlock everything that I can. On top of that, you will be able to play this game on the Switch, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, and whatever other Xbox One console there is out there. So it got you covered on all things. You don't have to go buy a PlayStation 5 to play this game. You don't have to buy a Switch just to play this game. Luckily, it covers a lot of bases. That does include the PC as well. So like I said, this game got you covered on all gaming devices. So the creators basically called this game like a volume 7.5 of RWBY, because it's basically going to be like a whole volume compacted into one game, which I think is really cool. That also means new animation. They had confirmed that there's going to be 6 minutes of new animation, and yeah, that doesn't sound like a lot, but like for a video game that doesn't need to have animation, the fact that they put in the extra effort to just include that, I think is really great. And the new characters as well will be getting some animation cutscenes, which I think is pretty cool. We'll be getting some fights in those animations, so hopefully we'll be also getting fights that we haven't seen yet. Hopefully it's not just a train scene, but yeah, like I said, I'm really excited. I like how they put in that extra effort, and I like how it actually looks nice. Like, you know, it looks like animation that we would get from the show. We also did get information about music during the panel. The soundtracks for the game will be made by Dahlia North, who also worked on North City Girls. On top of that, it seems like we did get a confirmation that some familiar voices will be making some new songs for the game. So I don't want to like get hyped right away, but that does sound like Jeff Williams and Casey Williams will be working on a song for an original song for the game coming out. And if that is true, I am really excited for that. It reminds me of like Persona 5, where you get to hear music sometimes, like vocal music playing while you're fighting or while you're exploring. If they actually are planning on doing that, then that is very cool, and I'm really excited to hear some original music for the game specifically. On top of that, we'll also be getting new songs from Volume 9 as well, so we're getting a lot of stuff coming from Jeff and Casey, which is something to really look out for. They didn't mention how many songs we're going to be hearing. I imagine it's just going to be one, but I'm pretty sure he did say songs, so maybe it's like 1, 2, 3. I think that'd be pretty cool if it's like, you know, more than one, but I'm expecting only one, really. So now jumping into gameplay. Luckily, it was confirmed that each character will be getting their own unique moveset. It's something that is honestly expected, but it's just nice to hear that like it's confirmed, because one of the essential things about the show is the combat styles. Like that's RWBY. That's what attracted so many people to the show. And I feel like definitely this game should have combos and have gameplay specifically for each character, you know? White shouldn't feel like you're playing as Blake. Yang shouldn't feel like you're playing as Ruby, which I guess is kind of impossible, but you get what I'm trying to say. It should definitely feel like, okay, this character is my favorite because I especially like this character's moveset. I really do like hearing that confirmation. I really hope we get gameplay soon because that's where it's gonna really matter. What we got so far, you know, it was nice and basic, but I really need to see those combos. I really need to see how these characters fight, like, you know, multiple combos. Like, the more combos there are, the more fun the game is definitely going to be. So on top of Team RWBY, it seems like we aren't just going to be playing as that team. In fact, it seems like we're going to be getting to play as other characters as well.
But we're definitely giving some gameplay time to characters that we didn't get enough of in the show.
It's mentioned that we're going to be getting, like, you know, to try and like quote the panel, they said that we're going to have gameplay time with characters that we did not get to have that much time with in the show. So obviously we had plenty of time with Team RWBY, but teams like Team Juniper, Oscar, Crow, the Aesops, while we did spend time with them, like, some might argue that we didn't spend enough time with them. So I imagine maybe we're going to be getting some gameplay with them. If so, is it possible to play as them? Or are we just going to be playing like against them, like boss battles or something like that? I don't think so. It sounds like we're actually going to be able to get to play as them. Obviously, take that with a grain of salt. I really don't think that I heard them wrong because I actually just played the video over again so I can make sure. And it really does sound like we're going to be getting to play as more than just RWBY, which, if that is the case, that is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really excited for that. So on top of the, obviously, the punchy punchies and the swingy swingies, this game is also going to be a platforming game, which is something to be expected. It's also going to be an RPG game. So there's going to be some crafting involved, some leveling up, I imagine, probably like some item gathering. So that's going to be a lot of fun, especially for a gamer who has never really been that great with RPGs. But I will learn for this game. You know, Genshin Impact has given me a little bit of training. So hopefully that will be enough for when this game comes out. But I know I've never been good with this kind of like leveling up. I'll end up just like leveling up my favorite character and just leaving the rest at like level 10. But, you know, I'm really excited nonetheless for this game. I'm glad that there's a lot of detail for these characters, and then we're going to be getting a chance to, like, you know, really just get to spend time with the characters that we're going to be playing as, you know, making them better, making them stronger. So I'm really excited for that for this game as well. So I did mention this in the last video, but this is going to be taking place during Volume 7, during that like little montage bit. That's when this story is going to be taking place. So yeah, you could basically think of this as filler arc of Volume 7, but fun because we actually get to play as the characters. So we're going to get to see them as truly new huntsmen, official huntsmen, getting to actually work as such. In the show, it was kind of like, you know, they were huntsmen, but they didn't really get that much time to be huntsmen because immediately stuff ended up happening. They ended up fighting Ironwood. Volume 8 happened. Honestly, everybody were huntsmen and huntresses just trying to survive, you know. So, you know, it's gonna be cool to see them as like official huntsmen working for I guess Ironwood at that time, and they're going to be fighting the villains of the story, which I'm pretty sure we haven't gotten a showing of yet. So talking about the characters some more, they did talk about how the Aesops were gonna be there. I imagine Ironwood as well. We did get some Marrow in the trailer actually, and also Ironwood. Hopefully we'll get some Crow, Oscar, so on and so forth. I'm really excited to see the Aesops again in all their glory, when they weren't just completely dismantled and just and like they were in Volume 8. So yeah, like I said, everybody's going to be in their primes. Hopefully we get to play as them. On top of that, we're going to be meeting some new characters. We already saw some at the end of the trailer. We also got like their team photo in this panel as well, and they all look really, really good. Like, I love these guys' character design, like immediately simping. I bet you I'm not the only one in the fandom. But yeah, the character designs, their clothes, how they look, like they just all look great. So I'm excited to see them in action. Hopefully we get to play as them as well. I'm pretty sure these guys aren't the villains. I don't think we've met the villains yet, but if these guys are the villains, yikes, that's gonna be kind of just saying. Like, I think RWBY's gonna have some. I think Team RWBY's gonna definitely have some trouble with them. Speaking of Team RWBY, apparently they're gonna have an interesting introduction to these characters, so I'm excited to see how they actually react to these 4 new characters and see just how funny it's gonna be. They also talked about how they're gonna be bringing back other characters as well, so I am hoping that maybe we'll see characters that we didn't even see in Volume 7, you know. Ciel de Soleil, I believe her name is. There's also maybe we'll get more of Team Funky. Just Flint and Neo, please. I definitely don't want to see those other 2 again, like, ever in my life. Maybe we'll get also more Maria as well as Pietro. I think, like, you know, bringing these characters back and just, like, you know, making Atlas and Mantle feel more whole is definitely something that they can do in this game, and I'm really excited to see who is going to be coming in this game. Like, just thinking about how many characters can be in this game makes me just think of, like, how big this game could actually be. So they also talk about the style of the game, and they talked about how they originally had the game set to look like the show, basically, like, in a way, like a 2D version of the show. And while the developers were planning on doing that, Rooster Teeth was like, no, actually, we want to see it. We want to see a more way forward style of the game. So they slowly they put less detail, and they made the characters look a little bit more in that video game style. I personally, I talked about this in the last video. I was like a little bit iffy about the about how the character, especially RWBY, looked, and that's mainly because of the fact that I barely feel like I can see her face, and like I feel like there's just like I feel like maybe it's a little bit too less detailed than it should be a little bit more detailed. Personally, like I like the second version of RWBY, how she looks there. I feel like that's a good version for them to use, but it's already too late, and I'll probably end up liking it. It's just gonna take some time to get used to it, and at the end of the day, like I said, the gameplay is what matters. But like I do like the pixie sort of look that she has. I just wish that it was a little bit more detailed, mainly in the face. I feel like that's where the detail mostly needs to go. The clothes look fine. They also talked about the whole look of the game as well, how they made the 3D look 2D. Even though like I have problems with the detail of the character, I do like how it has that 2D look to it. That goes for like the Grim as well. They also talked about making the backgrounds for the game as well. Like, they talked about how they actually had hand-painted backgrounds for the game, and they talked about how they wish that they could do this for the series as well. But the fact that they can do this for this game, that the fact that they have the budget and stuff and the resources for like hand-painted backgrounds, I do like how this game is a chance for RWBY to look even crisper than it has looked in the series. All this cool new stuff that we can't get in the show, the fact that we're getting in the game, I think is really, really cool. Speaking of something that we didn't get in the show, we're also going to be getting new Grim as well. For starters, we're going to be getting the Razor Ring. This is going to be a new flying Grim. They also showed the concept art for that, which I really like. Hopefully we can get this kind of Grim in the show as well. I think, because I really do like the look of it. It honestly looks very creepy and like kind of reminds me of a vulture in a way. So I'm excited to see if there's going to be more new Grim on top of that. One last thing about the concept art, I did notice that the White Fang appeared in one of the pictures. It was a picture of Yang punching the White Fang like away, and now they did say that these pictures were a work in progress and that the contents may vary from photos and illustrations shown. So we might not be getting the White Fang in the game, but there's also a chance that we will be getting the White Fang in the game. And people have been asking for the White Fang since Volume 7. They're like, what the heck happened? We thought that the White Fang were going to be in Atlas, because Atlas is like one of the most racist places in the whole world. So you would think that the White Fang would be very prominent here. But we didn't get any of that in Volume 7. We definitely didn't get any of that in Volume 8. This might be the chance to put them into the series and to give us like a proper introduction of the White Fang. And to see what the heck, like, you know, see their status in Atlas. This game is canon, so anything that happens to the White Fang in this game is canon for RWBY. So it would be really cool to get just to see the White Fang in Atlas and see what they're doing in there. How are they different from Mantle's White Fang, or Veil's White Fang, or Menageries White Fang? I think it would be really cool. Hopefully the outfits that they're wearing here aren't the outfits in the game. I'm just hoping that, because I feel like they will be wearing something different. You know, each region is wearing a different kind of White Fang outfit, so hopefully that's true. I really doubt it. Honestly, there's not even confirmed that they're in the game, but if they are, hopefully they get like a new outfit. But that's just my personal preference. So finally, I wanted to end this talking about the new team, RWBY, I think their names are, which consists of Bianca, Roan, Ivy, and Ruda. They all, like I said, look great. I'm really excited to see who these characters are. They all seem to be wearing tattoos, which I wonder if that's really important at all. My favorite would probably be either the one in the goggles or the one with the red hair. I think those two like look the best out of the 4 of the characters. So I'm excited. I'm really excited. I'm already picking my favorites. I'm really excited to see what these characters have in store. Their semblances, their weapons, their attitudes, their character. I'm excited about all of it. But yeah, that's about all I got from that panel. I'm really excited for this game. I think this is going to be a huge step up from Grim Eclipse. You know, that was a fan game. It's very dated now. We definitely need a change, and I think this is gonna be it. You know, I'm really excited. Like I said, this is for Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series XX, and PC. Tell me what you guys think about this game in the comment section down below. If I missed anything, please feel free to share with me, and I will see you guys for the next RWBY news or theory video or whatever the heck I'm making. Until then, bye.